Hello again and welcome back to the end. So it is time to carry on with the end build, and we're going to focus on building some end style ships. Now I'm saying end style because they're going to be inspired by the end ship but not going to be replicas of them. I am freestyling them. I have not practiced or looked up any tutorials or any designs that other people have made. I'm literally making it up as I go. Okay, so this first one, not gonna lie, not the best, as you'll see when I finished, but it's the first one I did. And let's see how it goes. So we finished building the first little ship, and now time to do the second. So learned a few things on the first one. The main thing I learned was it was too narrow, not too narrow, too short. So it looked more like a little rowboat rather than an actual end ship, which, to be honest, is not a bad thing, because I live near the coast in North Wales. I live not far from a highly touristy but also still functioning shipping town or shipping village. And yeah, there's all, there's personal private boats like little yachts and sailboats there. There's also fishing boats, rowboats, all kinds are docked in the town. So yeah, so you would get different sizes of boats and ships. So having a little one which would be like a little rowboat type one, and then this one which being bigger and more in line with the actual end ships themselves, smaller but more in the style of. So yeah, again, the first one is completely freehand. I am not going by any tutorials. I've not looked at what other people have built. I am literally making it up as I go along and seeing what I come up with. So when I was building these, I literally started recording and then just left it running. So I would record everything and then be able to edit it down later. Hence why I seem to be moving so fastly. Except for this point, I was so cross. I paused for some reason and forgot to unpause. And out of all the ships, I thought that was the best one. Probably could have done with a sail, but I was so cross when I realised that I wasn't actually recording for that one. So I decided just to do the 3 ships, and I kind of always like the idea of having something in the void to represent shots being fired between the various other ships, between the saucers and the orbs. And as you can tell by the fact I'm placing obsidian, the plan is to use end crystals. So I kind of like the idea of end crystals just floating in the void. Now, the plan is to place end crystals, then mine a certain way, and try and mine the obsidian from underneath the end crystal. Yes! Probably not the smartest idea. Also, the fact that you made this as I'm using stone for bridging. Now, I could have sworn I still had a full shulker of dirt, but could not find it in amongst all my building supplies. The only thing I can think of is I have had used it, or when I was putting stuff away, the shulker got broke and for some reason was never picked up and has since despawned. Because I doubt very much anybody has come along and stolen a shulker of dirt. Tons of shulker of stone, so plenty of shulkers there. People needed a shulker. And, some of them were full of glass, some of them had concrete in them. So it's much better stuff to take. So I suspect either I dropped it and it was never noticed and despawned, or I used it all up. Though I don't remember using it all up. But that doesn't mean to say that I didn't. So, as I said previously, the idea is to place end crystals to represent the shots, and I'd had a stack of end crystals in one of my shulkers where I kept my spare tools. But as you can tell by me frantically going through every single shulker box in my ender chest, it's not there. Now I do remember going through and sorting out what was in my shulkers, because some of them were a little bit messy. I had quite a bit of stuff there which I didn't really need to be carrying, but I could have sworn I left the end crystals in there. So I'm a little bit miffed at this point, discovering that in fact no, I do not in fact have end crystals on me. So I have two choices. I either leave doing the shots and come back at a later date and put them in, but that's a long way to travel just to do that. Or I can come up with an alternative. Come up with a different way of representing the shots being fired. So, guess that's what I'm going to have to do. So, as I said, time to come up with an alternative. So, first of all, I'd like to comment that if you can hear any noise in the background, kids playing, it's because it's a Saturday evening, it's lovely weather, and the neighbourhood kids are out playing, and quite rightly too. So, yeah, that's you might be able to hear, or you might be able to hear local birds just making a racket outside. Ah, dear. Yeah, I could close the windows and have a bit quieter, but like I say, it's a nice day. It's an early evening here now. It's been a lovely May day. You know, it's been nice and warm, but not too hot. So it's nice. So yes, the alternative to the end crystals. So literally, I'm using a magma cube with an end rod. Obviously, the best alternative I could come up with. I didn't have enough. In fact, I'm not sure if I did have any glowstone or glowstone powder to do something like that. And the magma cube, I think, probably is, out of everything I had, the best alternative, as it does look like it's basically a ball of fire that's flying through the air. Maybe one day I'll come back and I will bring some end crystals and replace them with end crystals, which was the original plan. But for now, yeah, don't know how that got left behind. Yeah, so for now, that's what we're going with. So one of the things I always said is I wanted to make it look like the End City got caught in the crossfire between the two other races. That the inhabitants of the End City are innocent bystanders who just unfortunately end up getting caught up in the conflict between the other two races. So, time to have a play with the TNT and try and make things look as if they've been hit by a few stray rounds. I'm gonna be honest, I'd make a lousy griefer. I really would. I don't want to be a griefer, but I wouldn't make a very good one. Alright. So one of the things I'm still working on is learning how to texture a build, such as this, where they're supposed to have been hit by the fire shots, fireballs and stuff, which is causing an explosion. So of course there wouldn't just be the hole. The blocks around the hole would also show signs of damage. So as with like the large orb and some of the sources, making it look realistic in a sense. Can't think how better to explain this. So having to put stuff to represent fire and damage to make it look like it's a fresh hit, it's only just happened, you know, it's not like it's burnt out, it's an ongoing battle, and unfortunately they've been caught up in it. So it's time to have a look around and have a look at the build in its entirety. So it's been a good starter project. This is probably the time, this is the biggest build project I've ever taken on myself. Like I've said, I'm new to building on Minecraft, so I've made a lot of mistakes, but I've also learned a hell of a lot. And I do have plans and ideas for future builds, so I do look forward to seeing where they take me. So here we are once again, back at the end build. It's kind of a sad moment because I'm packing up. I've done what I intended to do, and I've done as much as I want to do. Made a few mistakes. I was getting ready for the final thing final thing I planned, only to discover I hadn't brought what I needed with me. I needed end crystals. Oh, of course I've got auto totem on. Let me get rid of that. Yeah, I plan to use end crystals to simulate the shots. And I could have sworn I had a stack in my inventory, in one of my shulker boxes, but they weren't there. It's a bittersweet moment, this, but so stuff I can't take with me in the chest is full, and you know, we have a tradition of how we finish these games, don't we? We jump into the void. So I've done the final sign. Fourth and final phase. 9th of May 2003. It's been fun. OLN. Which is what I sort of starting to go by. I've really enjoyed doing this build. I really have. But I'm going to be honest, I've struggled with this final bit. My account has sat here for nearly a month waiting for me to log in and finish off. Yeah, I know, I think they would have looked better if they'd been end crystals. But I still think they look okay. Yeah. It took me a month to get myself actually up and running and ready to finish this off. And if something like this becomes a chore, if there's no more enjoyment in making the video, well, not so much making the video, but enjoyment for the build itself, then it's time to stop. So I do have an idea for a future build project, which is going to be in the overworld. I think it'll be a while before I decide to... Yeah, I'm pretty sure I didn't take the dragon head. I think I know who did. But you know what? You made the trip out here. Yeah. So I'm glad that you took the dragon head. So yeah, so it's a bittersweet moment because we are saying our last farewell. I will come this way again one day to see what happens, but this build project is finished. I had initially planned to do more sources, more orbs, and I just... when it came to it, I just didn't want to do it. So, this is me, signing off, one final time. Since that platform's there, we're probably just gonna probably fall onto it. Yeah. Well, it's not a final time for the videos, but final time for building badly in the end. So, yeah, this is me signing off. Wishing you all a good rest of the day, and time to leave, as we always do, by jumping into the void. Good luck, everybody, and bye!